I'd like to go over the most common issues when training and supporting a user with Microsoft Word. So I'm going to select the Start button. You can see Word in the list, but if you don't see it there, you can go ahead and click All Apps and you'll be able to find Word in that alphabetical list. Now we have the Word document opened, but it's just opened into the section that allows us to either create a template document or a blank document. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose to create a template first. Now, if I type in something under search, such as letter, so I type in letter and it says, no, we can't find anything in letter. Well, that's okay. I'll click on more templates and I'll type in letter again. And now it's going to go online looking for a letter type of template. And there's a lot of them. Take a look at all these different types of templates. I'm going to choose this particular one just by double clicking on it. It will automatically create it. And there's my template. Now you can see the personal information removal is enabled. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. But I like that it's not doing that. You could choose to disable it and it will pull in information about you from the account settings. So if I go ahead and change this to John Jones, for instance, I can just edit this any way I'd like. I can even go into the area that describes the user's job, and I'll just change that to popcorn maker. Now, if I'd like, I can also select that area, and I can choose to change the size or change the font, any one of those options. Next, I'm going to open up a blank document. So I'll go to File, choose New, and choose a blank document. Now, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, I've got Copilot turned on, installed, ready to go. So it automatically is trying to help me out, as you can see here, by choosing to create a document outline or draft a document based on a file. And that's all super helpful if you have the Copilot license. Now, in this case, I don't want to use it. So I'm just going to type in Hello World. And when I type in Hello World, then you see the Copilot information disappear and you're ready to write your letter. But if you'd like, you can click this little icon to draft with Copilot if you need it. Now, once we're inside this document, there's several things that confuse users. One would be how to change the font size as well as the font type. So I can go ahead and select my area that I'd like to change, and you get this little mini menu pop up. It's the same as the menu at the Home tab that you see there on the top, but not with quite as many different options. So for instance, I can change the color to be any other color I'd like. I can change the size, and I can change the font itself. So let's go ahead and change that font, and I'll make it a little bigger by clicking on this large A. So I don't have to pick a size if I like. I can just allow that as well. Another area that really confuses users is the styles option. So here you can see multiple different styles, such as the spacing, the heading, and things like that. You can even create a style or apply a style as well. So what I want to do is I want to show you the style pieces individually because it'll make more sense for you. For instance, let's take a look at the heading. By default, you see there is no special heading. It's just showing as normal. And that's certainly fine. But what if you're writing a book or writing a document that has a table of contents? Well, what you can do is you can choose to select heading for that particular area. And once again, you can change the size and the color if you'd like, but this is the default using this particular style. So we've got Hello World. This is my document. So if I'm creating a table of contents, it's going to show this as my first chapter. If I have a subheading, heading 2, then it will also show up in the table of contents, and you can see it looks a little different. So it's not necessarily the same as a new chapter, but it's just a new subject in a particular chapter. So now I'll type some words, and that once again goes under normal. So you can see once you create heading, and heading 2, heading 3 will be created by default, and you also have title if you'd like, and if you click the drop down, there's lots of different options. Some other areas that confuse people a lot include headers and footers. So if I double click at the top, it automatically creates a new header. I'll say this is my new header. So I'll type in this new header. This is my new header. I can make that larger or smaller simply by going to the Home tab and once again making it larger or changing the color or the font type. Now this is going to show up on every single page if I choose to leave it as is. So I'm going to click away from it. It goes ahead and makes the "this is my new header" text show up in light gray. Now if I scroll down or if I hit the enter button multiple times to a new page, then you're going to see that header or footer, if you put it at the bottom of the page, on every single page. You can certainly change it so it's on only odd even pages or only certain pages, but by default it's going to show up on every page. And when you go to delete it, you just go ahead and select it and delete it and then click away once again and it's gone. It doesn't delete the ability to have a header or a footer, it just deletes the text or whatever it is you inserted into that particular section. One area I like to train people on, because it's so confusing, is going to be the insert pictures area. So if you go to insert, as you see here, and you go to pictures, and this is the same for shapes and icons as well, they're just slightly different, but it works the same way, then you can choose to insert pictures from this device, stock images, or online pictures. So I'm going to choose online pictures just because it offers a lot more pictures available, and I'm going to double click on the birthday cake and choose one of these birthday cakes. So I'll choose the one that you see here, and there's my birthday cake. Now by default, you can move this birthday cake around a little bit, and that usually causes the issue with the users because they end up seeing the picture just jumping around the page. But you can make changes so it doesn't do that. So if you click on the layout options, you can do all these different options such as square, tight, thorough, and the picture gives you a little bit of an idea of what it's going to do. Sometimes I've chosen in front of text. So I'll just select in front of text. And then if I want to put in some text in this area, then I certainly can. So for instance, I can just go ahead and type in, "Have a great birthday," but in this case, it's going to put it behind the text. So we want to have it in front of the text. So we go back, click, and choose the other option, and now my text is in front of the picture. But let's say we want to get rid of that particular picture. You can just highlight, get rid of it, but it keeps the text there. Now let's take a look at adding in another option, which would be shapes or icons. So if I click on icons, you're going to see a lot of different icons, and you can choose what you'd like or do a search for what you'd like. I'll just go ahead and choose this abacus, and there it is, and I can certainly just make it larger or smaller as needed, just like a regular picture. And for anyone who has accessibility issues, you can also select the picture that you just inserted and add in alt text. Alt text allows you to assist people with vision disabilities or accessibility issues, where you can go ahead and type in what you'd like. Now by default, this adds it in, but most pictures are not going to have that option from the internet, for instance. So you'll need to go in and add that alt text. So when that user is scrolling over that with their mouse, it will speak to them that this is an abacus with solid fill. So very useful to people with those issues. The last thing I want to show you is going to be inserting a table. Instead of inserting an Excel spreadsheet, which you can do into a Word document, you can also insert a table. So you can just select how many rows and columns you'd like, and you can just go ahead and create a mini table inside your Word document. It's very easy, and you can go ahead and delete things and re-add things right inside the cells. And if you need to make more cells, you just go ahead and hit the Tab key on the bottom right, and it will just keep adding more rows and columns. Microsoft Word is probably going to be the most used and most in need of support of all the Microsoft 365 Office products, so make sure you learn it and learn it well.